might be cheating a little because Metal Gear Solid 3 Subsistence Existence Disc is technically a part of the game. However, this is a movie cut of the cutscenes in Metal Gear Solid 3. Metal Gear Solid 3. Why I decided to bring that in? Well, firstly, I think I talked about this in the Japan video, but I bought that from Japan, and that is a Japan exclusive game. And secondly, since I'm talking about movies, I had to bring up Hideo Kojima. The man wanted to be a film director before he started making games, which definitely shows in his games. Ever since he was a child, Metal Gear Solid and Death Stranding creator Hideo Kojima was a voracious, and I'm sorry I'm not pronouncing that correctly, I don't care, consumer of movies, music, and books. Kojima's name. I've always pronounced it Kojima, or Hideo Kojima, or Hideo Kojima, or something like that. They ignited his passion for stories and storytelling, and the results can be seen in his groundbreaking, iconic video games. I might actually go and play Death Stranding once I'm finished with recording this video. I've recently gotten back into Star Wars. I used to be a huge Star Wars fan when I was younger, and I am thinking of watching Andor. Maybe. I've seen Rogue One. I thought it was good, but I think the time when I stopped following Star Wars, I think that happened after the release of episode 9, and I felt like the sequel trilogy didn't really have a clear structure. They didn't have a plan on what they wanted to do. I went to see the theatrical re-release of episode 3. I love episode 3. I think it's on a tied spot for my favorite Star Wars film I should say, episode 6. I know a lot of people prefer Apocalypse. 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 Apocalypse Now is my favorite movie of all time. There's something about the feel that it gives you. Coppola managed to make everything in the movie feel sort of surreal. I haven't seen the Redux cut. I've seen the final cut, and I've seen the original theatrical release. I think watching the final cut was worth it, but if you know what I'm talking about, the plantation scene near the end of the movie kind of breaks the tension, which is why I like the theatrical cut more than the final cut. That plantation scene is of course in the Redux version as well, which I haven't seen, but the Redux version, as far as I know, contains a lot of the scenes that were deleted from the final movie. I love The Castle in the Sky. I don't remember if it was Miyazaki's first film or if I misremember, but or maybe it was Miyazaki's first Studio Ghibli film. The Castle in the Sky. I have joked about the fact that it's called Laputa, which, you know, probably the reason why I think in the US it's called just Castle in the Sky. Laputa is like La Puta, which means something completely different in Spanish. I bought a 4K copy of Akira, but we don't even have a 4K TV in this household. Let's talk about some other films that I enjoyed. Some of my favorites. I said that my favorite movie of all time was Apocalypse Now, but some of my other favorites, I like Andrei Tarkovsky's Stalker. I like the cinematography, I like the simplicity of it and how it portrays nature. I had something in mind. I just forgot about Twin Peaks. Fire Walk with Me. Rest in peace, David Lynch. David Lynch had I meant multiple great films. I liked Mulholland Drive, and here's a nice fact that you may or may not have known. Mulholland Drive is actually, or was supposed to be, a spin-off of Twin Peaks, where Audrey goes to Hollywood. They scrapped this idea, though later, when writing the script. David Lynch's work was beautiful, and I loved Twin Peaks as a TV show. I think David Lynch, while his movies were beautiful, could not have done it without Mark Frost and his world building. I've seen films like Night Passage. I decided to watch that particular film because it was starring Audie Murphy, who also starred in a ASMR video.